What is up, everybody, NC?
JC, and
we have a new series. We decided to start a new series called Overrated. And for Overrated, we got to make the first one on the most overrated wrestler in 2023.
You don't have to be too mean. I mean, you gotta be nice, you gotta be friendly. Fuck that shit.
No, we're gonna be fucking mean as shit because fuck Sami Zayn. We're tired of how overrated this asshole is. I'm sick and tired of the praise online, the dick sucking from everybody in the fucking industry. You got Freddie Prinze Jr. Oh, it's like watching Robert De Niro act.
No, it's like watching a flavor of the month get over temporarily.
You got fucking Michael Cole saying, "This is Emmy Award winning television there, John." Fuck off. It's not Emmy Award winning television if it's a 15-minute segment out of a 2-hour show, you fucking dunce. This is the narrative that is being pushed out there right now. That is Sami Zayn is the best thing ever in pro wrestling.
Jesus Christ.
And what started it all was his overhype in the Bloodline as being an honorary Uce. They're like, oh, look at the sales of the honorary Uce shirt. Sami Zayn is such a big seller. Gee, is that why his Ska t-shirt fucking flew off the racks back in the day and beat John Cena?
Right.
Is that why? Oh, no, it's because he's part of the Bloodline.
Because of Roman Reigns.
Because of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns carrying this ginger fucking loser mid-carder.
Well, and all it did is it just catered to the fucking neckbeard audience that was picked on in high school. That's all it catered to.
He looks like me.
Oh, he wanted to fit in just like I did.
And he was a goofball who said stupid shit like you did, which is the reason why you got picked on in high school, you fucking idiot. Those are learning lessons that you could have learned from. Bullying is a good thing when used in moderation.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Sami Zayn wasn't bullied enough, and it's obvious in the fact that in NXT, this guy was around when Bill DeMott, the biggest WWE bully in their history of hiring people. This was when Bill DeMott was in charge of the NXT Developmental Center. What happened when he was in charge of the NXT Developmental is he let Sami Zayn and he let Kevin Owens skate by. He let them do whatever the fuck they want while he screamed and yelled at actually talented people like Rusev and ripped their Mets jerseys off. And made Luke Gallows wrestle with a jelly donut up his ass. But, oh no, Sami Zayn, he gets a free pass. Let him go play on his cell phone in the corner with Kevin Owens and jerk each other off.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point, too, because like he was always preferred, like given preferential treatment by Triple H in NXT. Mm-hmm. He was made the fucking NXT champion.
Yep. And it was obvious from after Elimination Chamber. That match was such a travesty. It was obvious with Triple H hugging Sami Zayn like he was Tony Khan or something.
Oh my God.
It was so embarrassing.
Oh my God.
The fix is in. Trust me, we know. I love you, Sami. Just don't mind the boner. That's the thing, too, is Sami's far too used to it. I mean, he is Kevin Owens' blowjob buddy, after all. But that's the thing, is Sami Zayn, he's one of those guys that has always been heavily pushed by Triple H. Always beloved by Triple H. Why? Because he will do anything Triple H says. And it was because of Paul Heyman writing him in the Bloodline that gave Sami Zayn this monster underdog Daniel Bryan style push. They have their Daniel Bryan 2.0. That's why they didn't try to resign Daniel Bryan. They let him go to AEW because they already had their 2.0 in Sami Zayn. And they have full intentions of doing this. Look at this. He even has the fucking scraggly Jesus beard and the Jesus hair. He's the ginger Jesus. That's what they're trying to do with Sami Zayn, is they're trying to make him into the next Daniel Bryan, and these smarks are fucking loving it. Why? Because Sami Zayn has always been a whiny SJW mark dickhead, and the fans love that because that's what they are.
Can we talk about the overrated acting, too?
Oh, it's so overrated.
Fucking Oscar-worthy, guys.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Ugh. When you have wrestlers in the industry saying that this is something that is Oscar-worthy, that it is peak cinema.
Peak cinema. Fuck you, peak cinema.
When you hear shit like that, and you watch it, you're like, what fucking drugs are you on?
It's goofy fucking Nickelodeon acting.
That's all it is. It's the type of shit that should not be talked about with how much feverish energy these fucking nerds give it. They make it sound
like the greatest storyline ever.
Like this is like Avatar when it first came out or some shit. Like this is like the greatest movie that you've ever seen.
Yeah, the greatest fucking storyline ever is barely getting 2 million viewers for Raw.
Right. Great. Awesome. cinematic storytelling at its peak. Well, obviously, your version of cinematic storytelling doesn't register. And if you went up to somebody who actually decides what shows get featured in the Emmys, they would laugh in your fucking face at WWE even being part of the conversation.
Well, especially like if you show them the whole storyline and like how little happened, like what little really actually happened. It never once got outside the fucking arena.
Well, and like all Triple H storylines, all revolves around friendship and betrayal. That's all that fucking idiot knows how to do is friendship and betrayal. And that's why you saw with Sami Zayn the same storyline go down. The same shit that happened pretty much with Kevin Owens. Mm-hmm. And hey, why not throw Kevin Owens in there? Mm-hmm. That's how unoriginal and uncreative Triple H is. And the fact that he's letting Paul Heyman write this, you can tell Paul Heyman's writing it. That's the only reason why it's somewhat captivating to these fucking smart nerds. And, Triple H is taking the full credit for it, though.
Of course.
Oh yeah, that was my idea. I came up with that. That's my had the plan. It was all in the works.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. But Sammy, even in ring, is so unbelievably overrated. This guy is not a fucking Superman. And at Elimination Chamber, they had their most dominant world champion. A guy who has held the title for over 900 days, has destroyed the likes of Brock Lesnar, John Cena, some of the biggest names in the industry. And he gets the living shit beat out of him by Sami Zayn. This is not even like a regular fucking match. This was pretty much like a 30-minute squash match of Sami Zayn kicking out of Roman's moves over and over again and Johnny Garganoing his ass.
Here's the absurdity in all of that. Like, look at how fucking flabby, fucking skinny Sami Zayn is. Roman Reigns had a tough time beating Brock Lesnar.
Dude, Terry Funk has a better body than Sami Zayn.
Right now.
And he could probably wrestle a better match right now. Okay? And that's the fucking problem, is how am I supposed to take this fucking guy seriously as a top dude? There has been nobody in WWE history that has beaten up Roman Reigns as badly as Sami Zayn. Not even Brock Lesnar.
No.
Not even fucking the former UFC heavyweight champion. Not even him.
Taking him to the limit. The absolute limit.
Sami Zayn got so close, and I know there's all these nerds, but it's in Montreal!
That doesn't make him Superman.
There's no reason for it.
What? I tell you, man, like, it just goes to show that they're so desperate for any story of any kind. I honestly am starting to believe that the smart are starting to get tired of long matches. I even think they are getting tired of it. And they're like, any little story that they can find, they'll fucking hyper-exaggerate like it's the greatest thing to ever happen.
Well, because look at what wrestling has become. It's become a barren landscape for storylines in any sort of angles.
Yeah.
It's pretty much to the point where the storyline is the match. That's what's being said nowadays, is if you don't like watching wrestling matches, you don't like true storylines. You want to see that goofy Vince McMahon shit. You don't want to see real storylines.
That had more viewers.
Exactly. And Sami Zayn was never a part of Vince's plan. There's a reason why Vince always saw Sami Zayn as a competent mid-carder. And even then, I bet you Vince was probably close to firing his ass during the COVID days because of all the fucking whining he was doing backstage. And even with all the Saudi Arabian shit.
Yeah.
You really think that Sammy's going to want to be a part of that after they sell to Saudi?
That'd be hysterical, too, just to see,
if he walks out at his hottest point and goes to AEW. Wow. Wow. And you know what? The fans would fucking love it.
Of course.
They would fucking love it.
Of course. And here's the thing. Tony Khan wouldn't know what to do with him, and he'd go cold like within a month.
He would be on fucking Dark.
He'd be doing job matches on Dark within like 2 months.
He would be jobbing out to Wheeler Yuta on Rampage, guaranteed.
And Bruce would be like, "Hey, bitch, what now? You are so big and so tough. Now look at you."
And Sammy would be like, well, at least I'm on TV.
I'm barely on TV, barely getting paid. I'm having to feed my family expired dog food, but it's okay, because I'm in a real wrestling promotion that isn't sold to fucking Saudi butchers.
Hey, the Marks are all down with feeding their family rotten cans of dog food, because it harkens them back to the glory days of independent pro wrestling.
That's a real wrestling diet right there.
Where they had to scrap for dimes and pennies out of the water fountain just so they could go to the grocery store and buy the dented cans of dog food in the back. The glory days, damn it.
They're about to burst, but it's okay.
It don't matter if the fucking can is popping open and there's like a fucking mist coming out. It doesn't matter. You can still eat it, and they found a way, damn it. But that's the problem with Sami Zayn, is he's so content being a mark, and he's so ungrateful. He's only started being grateful lately because Triple H is making him the top guy or one of the top guys.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why. For the longest time, he was such an ungrateful, whiny shithead who would always whine about his booking with the company, with the company's political ties. Just such an insufferable dickhead. He's like Mustafa Ali with like a splash of talent. Just a splash.
Like a little, like a beep, like a little teeny tiny bit.
That's what it comes down to with Sammy is he's got just enough talent to keep around and do something with.
You know what? He's an Impact level talent.
He's Impact, yeah, pretty much. He would be like an Impact mid-Carter as El Generico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, what's his name? Sammy Callahan.
And how surprised are you that he has not brought back the El Generico mask yet?
Ah, good point.
Bring back to the glory days of Ring of Honor.
He could be El Generico and challenge his inner badass.
And you would see El Generico versus Cody Rhodes for the fucking Universal Championship. You already know, his fucking nose just got rock hard and thought,
Oh, he's stroking it right now.
Oh my god. I'm gonna blow my nose.
That's the problem too, is the smarks, the wrestlers backstage, Triple H himself, all suck Sammy's dick way too much. Meltzer's sucking his dick. Alvarez sucking his dick. Solomon's sucking his dick. JD's sucking his dick. Road Dogg's sucking his dick. Dude, at this point, Sammy's got to be like, well, I'm kind of tired of the blowjobs here. I need a little bit of a break. I got a purple penis here. Just give me a break. And I think the guy,
coming blood, please.
He's coming blood at this point. Give his dick a break, damn it. Yeah, that's the problem too, is it's so much flavor of the month dick writing. That's what the shit is. It's flavor of the month dick writing. And who's going to be the hot flavor next month? It's going to be Cody.
Mm-hmm.
It's always going to be somebody. They're always going to have somebody to jack off to. Doesn't matter if they're in AEW or WWE. There's always somebody for them to obsess about.
By June, you know who it's going to be?
Who's that?
It's going to be Johnny Morano. Triple H has it waiting in the wings.
They are going to push me to the world title at SummerSlam.
Versus Cody Rhodes.
I can see it, actually.
I really could.
I hate to say it, but I can see it. But Sammy is a guy who's he's getting a monster push nowadays, and it's absolutely insane. I mean, I'd be fine with him being involved with the Bloodline, because I will admit that his acting has gotten better.
A little bit.
I can't deny that.
But this is not the greatest storyline in the history of ever.
That's where the reason for this comes in. This reason for the series is the fact that he is just so fucking overrated. Like, how do you overrate a man that is so mid like this? He doesn't have any redeemable qualities besides his acting. His wrestling is average. He doesn't do anything really crazy. Oh, the Blue Thunder Bomb and the hell of a kick. Okay, so what? Drew McIntyre's Claymore kick looks way more fucking impactful than that shit.
Of course. Yeah, because it looks like an actual grown-up is doing the kick.
Yeah.
Not some fucking scraggly homo.
Well, and that's why Sami Zayn has to do the kick like fucking 6 times to pin a guy. Some fucking weak little skinny dude doing the same kick over and over. And Roman, please go to Hollywood, dude. You don't deserve this shit.
No, you don't.
You don't deserve this shit. Just get the fuck out of that company and let it just destroy itself at this point.
Unless Vince just finally takes control.
Unless Vince or Saudi takes control, yes.
Yeah.
But Triple H is content on making an overrated piece of shit like Sami Zayn and do a quote-unquote household name.
We can put him on posters. He's going to be a tipster. He's going to sell merch.
Yeah, dude, he cannot sell merch on his own, guaranteed. You break him away from this Bloodline shit, he will not sell merch on his own.
Yeah.
He will not draw on his own.
No, he won't. The Bloodline is the draw.
Exactly.
Period.
Oh, Meltzer disagrees.
Sammy's always been the draw.
No. It's been Roman carrying his whack ass this whole time, and nobody is man enough to admit it. It pisses me off how many people are like, oh, Sammy is the reason why the Bloodline is flowing right now, why they're awesome.
The bigger point that, I think that you brought up is, the flavor of the month.
Right.
Within a little bit, there's going to be another person who's going to be in a similar type of push that Triple H is going to go right to and the fans are going to be jerking off to.
Why? Because he has to listen to the fans. He is all about listening to the fans. Always has been, always will be. But he'll only listen to fans that tell him that he's right. And a lot of fans are telling him that he is a masterful booker for booking this Bloodline Sami Zayn storyline. That he should be awarded and praised. That he's amazing for doing that.
Oh, God.
This is all Paul Heyman, mind you, number one. Number two, it's not that fucking great.
No.
Never has been. And if Sami Zayn is the best thing about the storyline, then holy shit, it is not good at all.
No. If we're being real, Roman Reigns is the only thing that matters in the storyline.
If it weren't for Roman, that storyline would be a mid-card feud because nobody really cares about the Usos anymore. They've had their time in the sun. They're overexposed. Nobody really gives a shit about Sami Zayn if he weren't paired with the Bloodline. I mean, people were already fucking tired of him as a mid-carder. Right. He was doing nothing before the Bloodline.
Right. Well, and the thing too is like he's just leeching on to Roman. Because Roman's been the biggest star in WWE for at least the last 4 years.
What would he be doing if he weren't the Bloodline? He would just be dancing Sammy in a Che Guevara outfit.
He'd be an irrelevant mid-carder.
That would be his fucking gimmick. Dancing Che Guevara guy. If you believe otherwise, you're fucking retarded, okay? Because that's how he has always been booked, even back in NXT, is as dancing ska guy, okay? So miss me with that bullshit. He is not a guy to be taken seriously. He is not a top card guy. He will never be the top of the card. He's not a main eventer. He's a fucking mid-carder.
He's a flavor of the month.
He's lucky to be in the spot he is, and it's all due to these fans sucking Noseman's dick.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why. It's just reciprocal circle dick sucking right now.
Well, and fans are also sucking each other's dicks too because they want to feel like they're fitting in with the popular narrative of, oh, the Bloodline is the best thing ever. Which is why they're all jerking themselves off repeatedly about, oh, the Bloodline's amazing. Sammy's amazing. The Bloodline story is the best ever. Oh, God. Like my tweet.
You know what this reminds me of exactly is how much they overrated the Hurt Business when it came out. Oh, the Hurt Business is amazing.
Yeah.
Best storyline in the business.
Yeah.
That's how sad wrestling is any storyline they'll latch right onto. Especially if it's a somewhat seriously taken storyline without goofy elements. They'll be like, oh, this is cinema. Peak cinema. No. It's something kind of done okay, but you still overrate the fuck out of it.
You know what I think they're going to do next? What's going to be the next Bloodline thing?
What's that?
Judgment Day.
Oh yeah, no, definitely they're gearing up for Judgment Day because that's something that Triple H, those are all his people. Everybody in that stable is a Triple H person.
Well, and they're talking about expanding the Judgment Day faction. Which makes sense too, because it makes sense that Triple H would do that. They want that to be the next Bloodline.
Well, and
it's not going to work.
You know who you got to add to the group to just fully ruin his career even more because Triple H has done a great job already? Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
Might as well. Just add him to fucking Judgment Day. I mean, it gives him something to do. He's already feuding with Ray. There you go.
And so they're going to wonder why isn't it working? I'll tell you why the Bloodline worked and this is not going to work. Because Roman Reigns is the biggest star in the fucking business.
Boom. And once he retires, you guys are going to have problems. Your ratings are going to fucking drop. You know what happens every time you put Becky main eventer? What happens when you put her in the main event? 1.8, 1.7, 1.6.
And they don't learn?
They don't learn. Because it has to be their way or the highway. And it used to be that whole analogy of Vince McMahon, you know, if it's a half arena of Vince's people, he's happy. Same thing goes for Triple H.
Oh, yeah.
They both have to have it their way.
H, if it's a tenth of the arena, he's happy.
That's all it takes. So that has been our overrated on Sami Zayn. One of the most overrated talents in the history of pro wrestling right now. His match with Roman is unforgivable, and I wish it could be wiped out of wrestling history.
Absolutely.
It is one of the most unrealistic wrestling matches I've ever seen. It's right up there with Brian Cage and Tessa Blanchard. It's right up there with Steve Macklin getting bitched in the fucking Impact Battle Royale, the Intergender Battle Royale.
It was worse than the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. And I know the Sparks are like, fuck you, no, it was better. It was as believable.
It was just ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. And these smarks fucking loved it. God, they're the worst thing right now.
They really are.
NC.
JCN.
Peace out.